Hi, parents. In class, we started reviewing just a little bit this week for the CAASPP test. We started with the training test in math, which really just helps them figure out what tools they can use to be an effective test taker to show off all that they know and have learned this year. But if you'd like to do a little bit more exploring at home to kind of get your child used to the testing experience and using the computer, here's how you can practice. So you go to CAASPP.org, CAASPP, and then you can go into practice and training tests and the student interface for the tests. And you'll just go ahead and log on as a guest. In class, we actually did practice with their real ID and their session ID, which means it has to be administered by a test administrator like myself. And sign in, they select their grade. And then they can select which test they'd like to take. So far in my class, we've done the 3rd through 5th grade math training test, and we've done the 3rd grade math practice test. Part of it. We haven't done the whole thing. I think this has quite a few questions, and you do have to answer each question before you move on. So this might be a good homework practice activity for this evening. And then tomorrow we're going to do the ELA training test, which is short. It's just 7 questions, and it helps them learn how to use the tools like highlighting and zooming in and zooming out and cutting and pasting so that they can use those tools to enable them to help themselves through this long experience. And then in class, we will be doing the ELA practice test. You could also look at the 3rd grade math performance task. These are more open-ended problems. It's sort of like the Mars tasks or the challenge math problems that many kids have been working with this year. And then we will also look at the ALA performance task. That's what we've really been working towards in our writing through Writer's Workshop and planning smaller pieces that then build up to drafts where we then type and revise and edit online. And I got a really good question from a parent. She asked if the kids can use paper and pencil during the tests. Absolutely. I expect that the kids are using scratch paper, craft paper during the math tests. And during the writing tests, they will have white and yellow paper because we tend to use blank white paper for drafting or for outlining in class. And we use yellow paper for first drafts in class. So if they click on the math practice test, and all that is fine, just whatever they generally default to will work for the practice test at home. They have to make sure the sound works. And if they don't click it, they can't click this button. And then, of course, because this is super useful for 3rd graders, they give you the instructions and help document, which is exciting for 3rd graders and not exactly the most effective use of their time. So I just say, don't worry about what's on there. I'll tell you what you need to know, and then they can begin their test. In class, I have them work in partners to work through the problems, and I asked in math that they solve each problem in 2 ways because mathematicians strive for accuracy by verifying their answers using multiple strategies. So they seem well prepared from what I saw in class overall. We're going over a few of the problems that seem trickier. So email me if you have any questions. We're going to come up with the schedule tomorrow. As a 3rd grade team, for sure. Testing will start next week, and we're going to make sure we pinpoint when that will be. And we're hoping that parents can bring in some nutritious snacks for the class to share. And more information about that will be coming home tomorrow as well. Thank you so much. Have a good evening.